Economic development happens when money comes from outside a region into the region.
It's our job to serve people and to make their lives better.
I spend a lot of time in Garfield County, Enid in particular.
That's probably one of the hardest things, to get the good title.
Everyone deserves help.
And he's been very instrumental in trying to make this deal work out.
We're basically self-insuring 100% of the loss.
Now having a new measurement tool to make certain we're ready.
My old friend.
Some girls have even led adoption drives for local rescue agencies.
I want to try to focus on the things out of life that are positive.
City Connections begins right now.
Hello again and welcome to City Connections. Thank you for joining us, and we've been doing City Connections for a number of years now, and I continue to get feedback from viewers like you that enjoy our guests and what they have to say, and I know that you're going to enjoy this particular guest. His name is Alex Evers, and Alex has the Family Martial Arts right here in Enid, Oklahoma. He also has another studio in Stillwater, but he has one in Enid right now, and we're pleased to have you. Alex, welcome to City Connections.
I appreciate
Thanks for being here. We're going to play a little game called 20 Questions, I guess.
Great. Sounds great.
But here we go. Welcome to Enid, by the way. And Alex is a graduate of Oklahoma State University. He's kind of been, I guess, replanted from California to Oklahoma. You've been here for a number of years, though. What is Family Martial Arts of Enid?
So Family Martial Arts is a martial arts studio.
Okay.
We offer primarily kids classes, but we definitely have teens and adults classes as well. And we are starting our summer camp and our after-school program starting this summer. And so our goal really is to teach life skills, team building, confidence, focus, things like that, with kind of a fun twist, the twist being martial arts, where kids are very interested, but at the same time, parents can feel like, oh, my child's learning more respect. Things like that.
We'll talk a little bit more about these particular goals that you're trying to achieve of discipline and focus, things of this nature. You mentioned just a moment ago kids and adults. What are these ages? Are we talking 4 years old and 94 years old, or what are we talking? Because the viewers watching said, you know, martial arts, I might ought to invest in this. But if they're 64, they may think, no, that's for somebody who's 34.
Yeah.
So what is the age that you're dealing with?
Well, so we start at age 4. So we have a 4- and 5-year-old class. We call that our Little Dragons class. It's very cute little kids running around, doing punching and kicking, that kind of stuff. And then we have our 6- to 9-year-old class, and then we have a 10 and up. And so that 10 and up usually involves some teenagers and then adults of all different ages. I think the oldest person I've ever taught was, I believe, 68, something like that.
Boy, that's old.
Now, I did not tell them they had to stop. It was, they just decided that it was time. But we take all ages as long as your doctor says you're healthy enough to do it.
Very good. So let's provide our viewers, if you will, a little bit of background about yourself. I did mention you were from California.
Yeah.
Your family picked up, moved to the Stillwater area, and been in Stillwater. Again, a graduate of that school over there. What was that school again?
One school, Oklahoma State.
And but tell us a little bit about your martial arts upbringing.
Yeah. So when I was about 13, I was just talking to a friend of mine at school. I think I was probably in middle school, something like that. And he said after school he was going to go swing around some nunchucks. And I thought, well, that sounds like way more fun than homework. So I kept on it with my parents until they eventually signed me up. And I got my black belt around the age of 16. It took me about 3.5 years, something like that. Started teaching classes, and I was teaching more and more and more until I was running the whole place. And then after I graduated from Oklahoma State, I decided to purchase the business, and then it's grown. It's kind of exploded in growth since then. And we had some instructors who said, hey, we really want to continue this. You know, I know what martial arts did for me, and so I wanted to spread that, and they kind of felt the same way, and that's how we ended up opening our Enid studio. According
to your bio, you've done some work in Tulsa, and of course you have several hundred students in your Stillwater location. So why Enid, Oklahoma? Why Family Martial Arts, excuse me, right here in Enid?
Well, we were kind of looking around at where, like I said, we had some instructors that wanted to open a school, and so we were kind of looking around, where do we want to do this? I'd never planned to own a second martial arts school ever. But we looked around, and I contacted Chamber of Commerce, I contacted lots of cities, we looked at a lot of census data, and Enid just looked like a really great place, so I did a few site visits. I got driven around to here's some different places we could put the studio, here's the demographics. And I talked to a lot of citizens about, is that something they'd be interested in? Are they looking for more activities for children? Summer's a big time of year for us, and I talked to a lot of people that said they wish that their kids had more activities in the summer. And so that to me was, I think that Enid's going to be great for us.
And from the City of Enid perspective, we really appreciate Family Martial Arts being in Enid, because oftentimes the mayor, city manager, and myself will hear from parents that wish there was more park and recreation things to do in our community. So we certainly welcome this. Now, Alex, I'm a non-martial arts person, and there's our viewers are watching, and maybe some parents that are watching. They may have a view of it's just a bunch of karate chop kind of kicking and whatever, damaging things in homes or whatever. But for the novice person, the person that doesn't know a lot about martial arts, can you kind of tell us what your programs or what programs you have and kind of what they're all about, so that the viewers will say, maybe my son would like that, or my granddaughter might be interested in that. What are some of the programs?
Yeah, well, so we have kind of 3 different kind of arms in the karate school, and the first one is just our regular martial arts classes. Like I said earlier, our goal is for the kids to have fun, but for the parents to feel like they're learning something. So we talk a lot about focus, confidence, discipline, and we tie that into our martial arts, so the kids are having fun, but they're learning at the same time. We talk about how that applies at home, how those things apply at school, that kind of stuff. And we do a free class for everyone, so that way they can kind of try it, even if they're a little bit nervous. It's nice and easy, and they can kind of see what it's all about.
So give me an example of this confidence and focus. How are you weaving that into martial arts?
So we'll talk a lot about team building, for instance, and we'll talk about what is a team and what are teams that you're a part of. And so examples for kids are we're on our school team, we're on our family's team, we might be on a sports team, things like that.
Okay.
And we talk about, we take the same definitions that adults use, but we try and kid them up a little bit. So we'll talk about what makes a good team player, and we'll talk about those things. And then we'll run drills in martial arts that are examples where you need to be a good teammate, or you need to be respectful to your other teammates, things like that. And we'll do some fun drills. We play a game, probably doesn't sound as fun as it is, but we play a game called Clean Your Room. And we have a bunch of medicine balls that are good for kids to be picking up and down. And we'll play a game called Clean Your Room, and you got to work with your team to get all the medicine balls out of your room. And it just so happens that when you get them out, you put them in somebody else's room and they have to clean them up. And so we have a lot of fun, we get some exercise, and at the same time, we're doing team building activities. We're communicating with other kids. At the end, we all learn to shake hands, look at each other in the eye and say, good job. And so we're just kind of reinforcing those same values.
And you heard it here first. Clean your room is fun.
That's right.
I think that's
right. If you're doing it at Family Martial Arts.
I think that's what Alex said. Before we started our visit today, we were talking about the size of your class that you have over in Stillwater and the growth of your class that you have here in Enid, since it's just starting out. But how many students that you want to share with our viewers that you have at Stillwater than you have here? Because I think those are impressive numbers.
I appreciate that. Thank you. In Stillwater, we are over 200 students. And that includes our after-school summer camp and karate classes. In Enid, I believe that we are at 42, and we're growing. So we've been open a few months, and we're just kind of working up to that. Summer camp is a big time of year because we run our karate classes as well as our full-day summer camps. And then we start up after school. We pick up kids from school, bring them back. We do snack time, homework assistance, and then they do karate class, and their parents pick them up. And so those more necessity type areas are very helpful for parents, and at the same time it helps us grow our karate classes as well. But in classes, we never have more than 12 kids per class. That way we can have a good student-instructor ratio.
Sure. Alex Evers is our special guest today on City Connections. We appreciate Alex coming over from Stillwater to be with us, but he's here also to check on the Enid studio, if you will. Thank you for joining us. We'll have more with Alex talking about family martial arts, and we'll talk more with Alex right after this. Welcome back to City Connections. Thank you again for staying with us, and I hope you're enjoying our guest. Special guest, Alex Evers from Family Martial Arts in Enid. He has a studio, very successful studio in Stillwater, branching out and bringing the martial arts and the emphasis of focus and discipline and also confidence to young people, young and old, if you will, to the family martial arts here in Enid. Okay, Alex, I know you talked about your background in martial arts and black belt. You've got the credentials, you know what you're doing, and you have a heart for young people to teach these things. So for our viewers, help us out in comparing programs. They go, well, Alex seems like a nice guy. I guess I can trust him or whatever. Mm-hmm. But how would you compare what you do with other programs? Because people may be shopping to find out that, well, maybe Alex is where we need to go with family martial arts. Yeah, and there are definitely, it really depends on what you're looking for.
Okay. So if you were looking for like mixed martial arts, learning how to, fight in a ring or something like that, we're probably not the place you want to be.
Okay.
But we do, the reason we call it family martial arts is because we teach family martial arts. So we're learning self-defense, we're getting physically fit, we're reinforcing what I would consider good values. At the same time, we're having fun. It's really good socially. You're really able to connect with different people in your class. We have a good time, and hopefully you're leaving sweating and smiling every single time. And so kind of that's really what we're shooting for.
I think you've kind of answered my next question. We've talked about discipline, we talked about focus and confidence, having fun, but learning at the same time. Is there anything else? Well, I guess here's my question. What impact do you hope to leave? Somebody's in your program for 1 month, 1 year, however long that it is. For Alex Evers, what impact do you hope to leave on a young person?
I think a couple things. And it was interesting that you mentioned like the timeline. What if they're there for a month?
Yeah.
What if they're there for a year? What if they're there for a decade? And so really what I'm shooting for in the short term is we need to learn some self-defense. For our kids programs, we talk about what to do in bullying situations. That way, if we can kind of pre-calculate all of those, okay, they pushed me. What if there's a teacher around? What if there's not a teacher around? If we can kind of pre-calculate that, even if they are only there for a month, then hopefully they have that with them for the rest of their life, whenever that becomes necessary. As people continue, I hope to continue that learning and building of leadership skills. Martial arts had a lasting impact on me, and that's why when I graduated with a degree in computers, I still decided to continue to do martial arts because I wanted to be able to bless other people with the experience that I had and the growth that I had through martial arts.
Alex, I want to back up for just a moment. You talked a little bit about the programs and if you were into the fighting aspect of it, it wasn't yours.
Yeah.
I just had this thought, if a single woman, or maybe a mom, or even a grandmother, I mean, are there women that participate can they participate in your programs? I know the kids are your emphasis, if you will, and students and so forth, but if there's someone who's watching, I'm going to say, I'm 21 years old and I'm interested in that. I mean, there is a program for them?
Yep, yes, we definitely do. About half of our student base is female, kids and adults.
I think that's important to share.
I totally agree, and we're more than happy to do self-defense seminars. I do them at different places. I've done them at OSU. I did one just the other day with community college here for DHS workers, because sometimes they're in environments that are, sometimes challenging, and and we, even for Mother's Day, whether you're a mom or not, if you're an adult female, we offer a free month of classes. So whenever that rolls around, we can do that. Now you can start whenever you like.
Sure.
I'd love for you to start sooner rather than later, but definitely I think that's very important.
Alex, with all the information that you've shared with us today, what advice would you give to our viewers who are watching this and they may be on the fence, they go, we need to pursue this, or I need to pursue this with my grandson. What advice would you give them to, really give family martial arts full consideration? You said something about a free class?
Yeah. And so
we tryout kind of deal?
Exactly. And so a lot of people...
Test drive.
A lot of people are interested in martial arts, but they're not sure what steps to take. When you want to sign up for basketball or baseball, you kind of have an idea, okay, I go here maybe and I sign up and then we play baseball. But with martial arts, it's just not as mainstream, so people are not quite as sure what the process is. So we make it as easy as possible. You can give us a call, you can go on our website, You could walk in, and we're downtown Enid, and we offer a free class. We'll set you up with a time that works for you around your schedule. You can come in. We do about 30 minutes of kicking and punching. We show you all the things you need to know so that when you do a regular class, if you decide to continue, you don't feel weird or strange or anything. Teach you how to stand, how to punch, how to kick, very basic stuff. And then if you like it, then great. We'd love to continue having you. And if you think that maybe it's not your thing, that's totally fine too. But everybody is very nice and welcoming, because it does feel uncomfortable, especially when you're an adult starting something new.
I like the test drive aspect of it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot if you want to do that. We'll have some information on the screen on how to contact you, how to find you, but how does a person get involved? You said you're in downtown Enid.
Yep.
So
yep. Yeah, we're downtown.
Do you have a phone number that they can reach out to?
Yeah, the number is 580-297-5033, or you could visit us at familymartialarts.net, and there's an area where you can even sign up for your free class, and we'll call you if you're nervous about calling us.
Okay. Appreciate you being accessible for us and coming all the way over from Stillwater to visit with us today. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you feel like we need to share? Because again, I'm one of those, Alex, in that category. I'm not familiar with martial arts, and maybe what I know about martial arts is what I've seen the kung fu stuff on TV.
Yeah.
So that's totally different than focus, confidence, and also discipline. So.
Exactly, I understand that. Yeah, we do a few different things with the community. We do free self-defense seminars. We do birthday parties. Our birthday parties are extremely popular. We have a ton of fun. We cut our cakes with a samurai sword. You know, it's very structured. Like I said, our
sounds safe.
Well, the instructor holds onto it.
Okay.
It's not a sharp one, but it'll cut through a cake.
Okay.
Our summer camp is coming up, and that's really big for us. We do a full-day summer camp. We're doing martial arts all day long and games and fun stuff. And then, like I said, we're starting our after-school program very soon. So sometimes people want to do martial arts, but maybe it's not in the budget. But a lot of people need somewhere for the kids to go after school, and maybe that's in the budget. And if they can get both at once, then
sure,
that's another kind of bonus that we offer.
Very good. Alex Evers, Family Martial Arts, Enid, Oklahoma. Welcome to Enid.
Appreciate
Alex,
you
thank you for bringing us this opportunity for young people and even older young people to be involved in that.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it very much. Again, Alex Evers, our special guest today on City Connection, Family Martial Arts of Enid. So, this is Steve Kime with the City of Enid. Thank you for joining us here on the Enid Television Network with City Connections. We'll continue to find these very special guests throughout the community and bring them right to your television set. So, thanks for watching, and until next time, make it a great day.